your horror movie podcast.
Professor Justin, is that like your take on Professor X?
It is. I think I forget who said it at work, but they said I'm entering my professor era, so hopefully it's just a month.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. Well, welcome back, Hack Stab Slash. I'm Hacky. This guy, in case you didn't know, is not Clark Kent. It is fucking Justin.
Professor Justin. We got 30 days of glasses wearing, trying to like figure out how to act and like wear them. Not used to facial accessories. Not really feeling it.
Yeah. He's our current horror 80s expert. And guess what, Hack Stab Slash? My man is bringing you to class. He is going to give you a fucking lecture on modern day B movies that have that 80 fucking cheese.
Let's go. I am here for it. I am here for the blood.
You are here for the blood. You are there for the blood. We are everywhere for the blood, Justin. Today, tell Hack Stab Slash what we are doing, what we are covering, and why you picked this goddamn movie.
All right. I'm just going to pretend I did not break my chair. Awesome start. And we're going to just not fall out of our chair and talk about Here for Blood. I picked this movie because, I don't know, we were looking for newer movies. It's in the last like 2 years. It looked like it had a badass cover. I'm not gonna lie, it was like the 80s slashes back in the day when I was like looking for cool covers. This one had a cool cover. I was like, oh shit, that looks cool. Watched the trailer and I was like, that is the greatest movie ever made. Just from the trailer alone. There was wrestling, metal, axes, looks like a slasher with wrestling. I love wrestling. I love slashers. I love metal. Picked it and I'm very glad I
everything all wrapped up into one. Justin, move a little bit over so that the crowd watching on YouTube right now, that is the cover art.
Yeah, right there.
That screams 80 B movie gold.
So
and
much.
It's not, dude. It's from 2002. And I was hyped up when I seen this fucking cover art, just like you said, dude. It roped me right in. And I was like, all right, Justin, you found something here. Let's give this a go.
2022, not 2002. Just correcting you. Sorry.
Did I say 2002?
You definitely said 2002. I was like, it's not that long.
I was going to say, if it's 2002, I mean, technically that would kind of make it a modern day classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're that old.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute.
So, Here for Blood is going to take us a minute before we jump into it because I have my notes open for Candyman.
All right. Pause it. Yeah, that's a good pause because I'm not joking. I fucked my chair up. Let me see this shit real fast.
Let's go.
Right.
We're here for blood. We get our opening scene, and it is a chick named Maddie. And she gets fucking got in the shower, bro. And I'm a little disappointed because for an opening kill, we don't fucking see anything.
Yep.
We just see a bloody hand hanging out of the shower. I'm like, is this dude in the shower? Is he out of the shower? Did she slip and fall? Like, did she whack her head? Like, what's going on right now? And her friend Elsie or Elise, I'm not sure because they never actually say her name. I had to look it up. She comes in from a jog and she's like, oh, what do you want to wear tonight? We're going to go out. We're going to have some fun. She finds her in the bathroom and immediately starts screaming. I would go check on my friend to see if she needs help, right?
Yeah.
And instead, she sees a reflection of Sting's like,
yes.
Well, no. I have this written down. She also dies because she sees the reflection of this dude. And I say she dies at the hands of Hall of Famer Sting's third cousin twice removed at Logan Paul's side of the family reunion.
What?
This guy is in like spandex. He's like, dude, his pectoral muscles are so big. I thought he might have been a chick.
Great definition.
Oh my God. The definition on this guy.
Chisel.
Getting me hot and bothered.
Oh boy.
But like, dude, like the skin tight, like I thought they were going to be assless chaps. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Yeah,
the guy's mask is great, but everything else going with it was a little bit creepy.
It was.
We now meet Mike and Christine as they're talking to Phoebe and they all chat. They're in like a cafe right now. They're talking about schoolwork and how Phoebe's struggling a little bit and she needs to make ends meet, but she's broke as fuck because she's a college student and college students are typically broke as fuck. So they're like, yo, why don't you ask big man Tom to flex them guns and help you out in this financial predicament? You saying you got to babysit a kid. Why don't you send his ass to babysit the kid and you can study all night and you can prep for your final exam tomorrow? So now we meet Tom. And at this point in the movie, dude, I know, Justin, you're doing fucking push-ups in your chair, bro. You're sweating.
Let's go.
You're like, let's go. You're going nuts, dude. We get intro to Tom, who's delivering absolute punishment that only Stone Cold Steve Austin would be proud of. And I actually think there's a nod to Stone Cold in the audience because it's some random guy with 2 bears and he's like, smash! Yeah! I fucking love this intro, dude. I got so hyped up.
I was looking for my Macho Man shirt to wear for the podcast, and I can't find it, so I was pissed. I wanted to wear a wrestling shirt. I couldn't find it.
I know. I thought about going to the store real quick, buying some face paint, coming on here as the American Warrior.
Oh my God, let's go.
Love it. Dusty is an absolute piece of shit promoter. And we see this all the time in like low end wrestlers and like behind the scenes and like up and coming and stuff. This dude sells out a fucking crowd and puts on the performance of a lifetime. And Dusty's dusty ass gives him $20.
$20.
He's pissed, bro. He's like, this shit don't even cover gas. And he's like, all right, whatever. See you next week. We go back to the crib now. Phoebe asks Tom to babysit so she can study. And Tom's like, no, bro, I can't babysit. Do you see these guns? Do you see what I'm working with right now, bro? If I'm going to go babysit a kid, someone's going to think I'm a pedophile. Like, no, I'm not doing this. Phoebe talks him into it, though. And he's like, all right, whatever. So he goes there. We get another glimpse of the dude we get from the opening scenes. And I could not find this movie anywhere what he's sitting on his like love seat watching, Justin. But okay. I'm almost positive it's Tammy and the T-Rex.
I never seen that, but I heard about that.
No, I think it was Tammy and the T-Rex. He gets a phone call from some dude that says like, hey, I need your services tomorrow. Bring your tools. Mm-hmm. He hangs up his little flip phone and we see in the closet, dude has got the mask and the chaps hung up. And we know this is our fucking bondage Barry bitch. I don't even know what to call him right now, dude.
I don't either.
I don't know what's going on. This guy is just weird. Tom then shows up at the house to an awkward greeting from the stepfather, whose name is Gil, and straight up goes, hey, you're not a creep, are you? Like, so guys funny. Don't baby. Immediately starts agreeing with everything Tom said to Phoebe.
Everything.
Yeah, without hesitation. Gil then introduces Tom to Barb and goes, don't worry, he's not a creep. I checked him out. He's good. They go upstairs and they introduce Tom to Grace, and then they leave for the night, and Gil hands him some cash, and they got cookies, and they also got pizza money. Justin, there is a heavy emphasis on these fucking cookies. My fat ass would have eaten half the tray by now.
I said Sean would have already been down there.
Straight up, dude. I would have walked into that kitchen, smelt it, and been like, give me one.
Already eaten them.
Give me it. Just when they leave, though, we do see someone in the distance. So now we know Assless Chaps Mania is now at the house, and he's looking at them as they shut the door, and shit is going to get fucking wild. Oh, Gracie, though. Grace is like, yo, I'm hungry. These video games have got me working up an appetite, man. You need to order me a pizza. And he's like, all right, cool, bet. What do you want on the pizza? And she's like, double the cheese. Yeah, cheesy cheese. All the cheese, all the time.
All the cheese.
And then we get Aloha. The fucking pizza boy shows up, and he is as pumped as Justin would be in this moment because he is fanboying the fuck out over Tom O'Bannon, even showing him his muscles. He's like, yo, feel that. Feel that. I've been working out, bro. Feel that. So Tom pokes it. He's like, yeah, dude, it's the real deal. I love this interaction, Justin, because he's like, yo, dude, can I get a picture? He's like, my friends are gonna go nuts. And he's like, yeah, dude, you got $5? And he's like,
Dude, the interaction is awesome. And can I just say, you called it so much. So let's just tell him real fast. We worked with a professional wrestler, an actual professional wrestler. And when I went with T-Bone to see Alicia wrestle, and that is what happened. Dude, when her music hit and she walked down to the ring, I was like front row. And I was yelling at everyone, that's my coworker. I work with her right there. And I was literally like, that's my coworker. Dude, I was hanging over the rail and high-fiving her and everything. So that's like how I acted when I went and saw my own coworker in a professional wrestling match.
We work together, be jealous.
Shout out Alicia. Right? Shout out Alicia. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. So Justin the pizza boy then rips his weed pen and gets out of his car to question some random ass guy who's stalking from behind the shed. who ultimately fucking kills him, just straight up throat slashes him and blood sprays everywhere. And we know the killing is now beginning. Let's go. Not before some video games between Tom and Grace, who get a little bit of bonding time. I like this because it shows that he's willing to actually be a babysitter and not some schlep sitting on a couch yelling at her from a distance. All this while our killer is just out there flattening tires with fucking spurs on the back of his cowboy boots. Bro, who designed this man's costume?
Right.
I am so confused. He's got beautiful locks of hair, a creepy ass mask. He's got a leather jacket that is like 14 times too small and pants that won't let his nuts breathe, but he's got spurs on the back of his cowboy boots. I don't know.
It's a lot happening.
Maybe this was some sex cult. And then we get Justin, I have this written down exactly. 2 poor excuses for killers now climb down from the attic to attack Grace and Tom. And Tom literally sizzles whatever fucking dweeb comes after him. This guy is scared shitless when he sees Tom. He's like, hey, just get down on the ground, man. Like, just do it, please.
Make me.
I'm gonna ask nicely. And he's just like, yeah, not gonna happen. And the guy takes off his mask and he attempts to put up like the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. And Tom just grabs his face and smashes it down on the stove, and we get spiral rings. All of this. I felt so bad for this guy.
Dude, he cooks the guy's face.
Absolute sizzle. That's what I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him Sizzle. Then the other one, he decides to go after Grace. And I actually really like this dude's mask. It's like upside down.
Really cool. That's what I was glad you said that, because like I said, obviously this is like a horror comedy action movie, but the actual mask, like some of the parts, like the slasher parts, are actually really creepy. Like that mask is really cool.
That mask was dope, dude. And it serves, I think, an incredible purpose and probably one of the best shots in this entire film. We see Grace hiding under a bed. She's doing the typical kid thing. She's covering her mouth. She's trying not to let him hear her breathing. And he sees her and he goes, oh, game on. He walks over to the bed, bro. And we see him climb on top of the mattress. And because his mask is upside down, when he lays down on this bed, dude, and tips his head over to look at her, it looks like it's right side up and there's no fucking body attached. Amazing shot, amazing effects, amazing creativity with this mask.
Dude, they nailed it. They, like I said, there's this. Oh man, I'm loving this movie so far. So absolutely loving it.
So Tom actually hears Grace scream. So Tom goes to fight this second guy, and he fucking stabs him into the foot through the floor, rendering Tom currently useless because he is like his whole body, all these muscles are useless right now because there is a knife that looks like it's right through the center of his foot and stuck into the hardwood floors. So he ain't going nowhere. He fucking muscles it up though. Like you can tell he's adrenaline's fucking pumping right now. And he pulls this out and then goes down and starts to hunt this other killer. And he fucking suplexes this man into submission. And I love when Grace goes, is he dead? And he just goes, and kicks him incredibly hard. Goes, nope, see, he's still alive.
Nope. Yeah, he's still good.
Yeah, he's still good. Then they like fucking break a lamp and they grab the electrical cord. They tie him up. They leave him off to the side, whatever. Tom is looking for his phone to call the cops. And he's not having any luck, though, because we see spiral burnt pizza face looking man. When he woke up, he actually took Tom's phone. And Grace is too young to have a phone. And for some reason, like Barb and Gil are clearly ready to collect AARP. They decide they don't need a landline in their house. I'm pretty sure every person at the age of 45 or over has a landline in their house. Justin, do you have a landline?
I do not have a landline. Do you have a landline?
I do not have a landline, but I do have landline hookups.
Gotcha.
So Tom goes to look around the house now since he can't call the cops and all his tires are flat. He decides, I'm going to take a peek in the attic because the stairs are down. He goes up there and he sees these people were actually hiding out in the attic waiting for this to happen. And he goes, there's a fucking head up there. Mm-hmm. Like he cannot get over the fact that there is a severed head in the attic. Tom then has a chat with Upside Down Face Man, and this goes absolutely nowhere. And he says they're going to take the girls and they're going to kill him, and he needs to just let it happen. Mike, Phoebe, and Christina all now show up at the house. When they get to the house, surprise, surprise, the fucking door's locked. So they can't go right inside. And instead, Spiral Face fucking grabs Phoebe and just yokes her up just in time, dude, for Mike to take off like a piece of shit, running back to his car, turns it on, starts beeping the horn. And he's like, come on, guys, we need to leave. And Justin, do you know what the prize is for being a coward? It's fucking death.
What is
bro.
the prize? What happens to this bastard?
It is
don't
death.
be a coward, man. Come on.
Our main villain now pops up in the back seat and chases Mike out of the car. And he then stabs the ever-living shit out of Steve. And these girls they're like, Tom, save him, Tom, save him. And they just doing this nonstop. And they're watching this happen. And every single time the knife enters fucking his back, Tom just goes, he's dead. Pretty sure he's dead. Definitely dead now. He's got to be dead now. No way he's not dead. He just says it over and over and over again. Bro, they're now 0 for 3 with people not having their cell phones on them, which is just mind-blowing because I could walk 10 feet out my door and find you 7 people with their cell phones attached to their hip. No way. All these people don't have their cell phones. So Tom starts telling them like, dude, I love this line delivery, Justin. Fucking Phoebe's like, where's Grace? And he's like, oh, she's upstairs. She's like, alone? And he's like, well, I locked her in the bathroom. She's like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, she's got toys and shit.
Dude, let's just like Sean Roberts is Tom. This guy, his line delivery in this movie is unbelievable. Dude, the chemistry he's got with Grace and these one-liners, dude, this movie's like legit funny. Like I was like literally laughing at every single thing this guy said. Like it is freaking awesome. Like there's so many good one-liners. I couldn't even write them down. Dude, he's awesome. He's so fucking funny. Oh.
Phoebe's reaction. These are notes for me, not for the movie. I go, Phoebe's reaction, especially to Tom's foot getting blood all over the floor. And then him telling like Tom not to hurt the fucking random ass guy that's trying to break in through the door. They call him Slackjaw, by the way. He's trying to unlock the door and work his way in. Tom stabs his hand to the door and like goes to smash his head in with the frying pan. But this whole set of scenes, Phoebe's giving me like weird vibes, like she might be in on it because she's bitching about him like tracing blood all over their floors. In my eyes, that's a red flag. She's more concerned about how neat the house is than what's going on. She then tells Tom, don't kill him. And he's like, what? These are fucking bad people. Like, if I killed them, I wouldn't feel that bad. And she's like, well, don't do it. Like, be nice. Like, he's still a human. And I think she's like setting Tom up for something. Like, he's going to be the fall guy. She's in on it. They're going to sacrifice this little girl, Grace. Tom just gives in though, and he fucking bashes Slackjaw's head in after he calls Phoebe a whore, and she's like, well, you got what you deserved. You shouldn't have called me a whore. And then the burnt face Spiral guy comes in and he sees Tom, and Tom just goes, hey, you could fuck right off. And the Spiral guy's like, message received, bro. I'll see you later. I'm out. I'm
good.
He takes off running into the dark and the fog, dude. He's just, I'm good.
Funny.
See you later. We now meet this weird cult leader, and he's like rubbing this big giant box thing. And now the upside down face guy has become fully possessed, like eyes glowing, possessed, you name it. Tom goes upstairs to check on him, knocks on the door. Yep, 100% possessed. Professor Justin in the house. Welcome back.
Professor Justin. All right, the glasses are back on. I've had some internet issues, so I've been trying my best to follow along. But all right, so like Sean said, this dude, he goes up there right now, and he hears like crazy sounds coming from this freaking crazy guy's face, like his room, and he basically is just like, yeah, whatever you do, just like don't fucking like come out, and
just fucking stay in there, man.
Yeah, just like stay in there, dude. And he like opens them, and this opens the door, dude. This guy's eyes are glowing now. We got red glowing eyes. He's got like super strength. It's actually so creepy. And he is like fighting this dude. And this dude is like telling him like, I am gonna like eat you. He's got a satanic demon face. He is just telling him how much they go downstairs now. They're fighting, and he's basically saying how much he's going to eat him and everything. And it's terrible,
Justin,
disgusting.
I have this verbatim. If you don't mind, I'm gonna read it real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
He tells Tom that he's gonna turn him into a 3-course meal, pretty much. He goes,
Yep.
"I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna crack your bones and suck out the marrow for an appetizer. Next, I'm gonna bite your eyes out of your skull and chew out your tongue for the main course. And then for dessert, I'm gonna snap your vertebrae one by one and drink your spinal fluid."
Dude, I love that you actually wrote that down because, like I said, there's so many. The quotes in this movie are absolutely out of control. So he's like, okay, there's only one problem with that. And he yells, chop. And like Phoebe starts cleavers like the neck. And this guy's like still going. So she's like cleavering his neck, and the guy's neck's like half bent off. Tom has to frying pan this dude's head off. He keeps hitting him with the frying pan. Smash. His head finally goes off. And this turns into Evil Dead stuff. I'm talking about blood for days. This dude's just standing there, and this is evil. There's just blood shooting, dude, forever. There's like a minute straight of this guy staying alive.
Phoebe is screaming about the blood. She's like, "Stop it, stop it!" And then it stops for like a half a second, and then it starts again, and she just goes like, "Oh my god, not again!"
And like I said, yeah, so over the top. This is absolutely ridiculous. And until the thing finally falls down and finally friggin' dies. Now all of a sudden there's one at the door, and another one of these things grabs Tom at the friggin' door. And now Phoebe's like, I mean, after seeing this, she's just all in it. She grabs that cleaver and literally cleavers this dude 47 times, like in the head, and she is just screaming.
My notes for this exact part is, okay, I was wrong about Phoebe.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
I was completely wrong.
Dude, Phoebe's finally bought into this, and she just chops his head off. And this is probably one of my favorite lines in the whole entire movie. Tom literally deadpan, looks her in the eyes, so serious, and he's like, "I'm beginning to think these aren't sex perverts." And she's like, "Dude, the best." Who wrote all these? He was
so hung up on them being sex perverts.
Sex perverts, and just how he says it so freaking serious. And at this point now, he's handing out knives to all of them. He's like, "All right, look, everyone gets a knife. This is clearly supernatural. I don't know if these are friggin' vampires, zombies, demons, but clearly this is supernatural shit." We see a flash scene of the cult now. Lead is fucking pissed. He's like, "We are running out of time. Like, this shit has never happened before. And we're gonna go into weakness. You know what? We're gonna go in through the heart." And as you see this, you see him bringing, I believe it was Mike back to death, Christine's boyfriend, and you see
Justin.
Crazy,
right before they bring Mike back, when you talk about one-liners in this movie, I fucking love that Tom grabs this demon's head, walks to the front porch, and we see this over-sexualized version of Sting's cousin outside, like chilling on the hood of a car, and he's like, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here," and he like throws him the head, and he's like, "You want to go?" or like whatever their interaction is, but he literally just looks him in the face and goes, "I'll probably see you later," and then turns around and goes back inside.
Yeah, that's when he throws the head to him, right?
Yeah,
that little. I was gonna say that's like my next scene. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, as he brings Mike back to death, back to life, and he goes in there, and Christine sees Mike at the friggin' door, and of course, what does she friggin' do? She's like, "Oh, he's alive." Like they're like, "No, he's friggin' dead. He's friggin' dead." Like maybe don't let the guy in. I understand it's gotta be so tough, but if like your boyfriend or girlfriend or someone dies in front of you and they come back, clearly they're a fucking zombie. Don't let him in. Christine lets him in. Mike bites her neck. And the best thing ever is Tom literally walks in and his exact line is, "Fuck me, it's a zombie." And dude, oh god, I love this movie so much.
His line delivery is just priceless.
It's so priceless. So he ends up, they kill Mike again, and he elbows drops this dude's head in. He is Macho Man elbow dropping this guy over and over and over again. And he literally yells like, that's how it's done, you fuck. And so freaking good. And all of a sudden, who pulls up? The parents pull up. And they're like, "What the fuck? Like, it's like a party here. Like, what is even happening?" There's like cars.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure they can explain.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. And like, they walk in and like, "What is happening?" And he's like,
"He's still, bro, dropping the people's elbow on fucking Mike's head."
He literally elbow dropped this like Macho Man Randy Savage like 53 times. And he's like, "Oh, we got attacked by these maskless guys, but don't worry, like we killed them. And also, I know it looks bad, but like that guy, he came back to life, and we killed." He's like,
"They killed Mike," and they're like, "Who's Mike?" And he's like, "Him."
But he's like, "I know it looks bad." Yeah, they came back. I had to kill him like a second time. But anyway, before you call the cops, you got like a head in the attic, man. He's like, you know what? Let me go show you the head in the attic. Like, so ridiculous. So he brings Gil up into the attic, and he's like, wait, this is like, and he's like piecing it all together in his head. And you realize he's like, wait, this is planned. And before he could realize anything, freaking Gil stabs Tom, and you see him, Tom just fall down, and they go back downstairs, and now we see one of the shirtless killer freak guy is
Bro,
with.
so I know you don't do subtitles, but
Yeah.
I had subtitles on because I like to try and catch little things.
Yeah.
This point in the movie, I finally find out what this dude's name is.
Oh,
Do you want to know his name?
What's his name?
Lover Boy.
Stop it. Fucking stop it.
Lover Boy. How fitting is this for this fucking guy?
Dude, so good. I literally, in this note, I called him shirtless killer freak. But all right, I guess so. Lover Boy is right behind the mom, and like they start screaming, and the mom's like, no, no, no. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. And she's just like, you guys are supposed to just eat the freaking drugged cookies. Like, this is like an important night. Like, we're all gonna like ascend together and walk into the void.
I love how she's like, of course he didn't eat the cookies. You don't get a body like that by eating cookies.
She's like, I knew that. She was like all worried about that. And Phoebe's like, whoa, excuse me. Like, what? Like, what is happening? And like, she's like, you're the gift, Phoebe. And she's like, what the hell? What did I do to you? And like, Gil's like, no, 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 honey. It's not like that. Like, we actually really like you. Like,
that's why we're sacrificing you. And that too, and like, who doesn't like hot college girls?
Yeah, like ridiculous. Like the mother. And yeah, the mother looks at him. He's like, well, not me, but I mean, like, a lot of people love college girls, and like even like the Eternals do, and like they're like, we just gotta feed you to the Eternal ones. Like, what the hell is going on in this movie right now? This just goes. It was already batshit crazy, but this is just getting ridiculous. They go up there and like, you know what? I'll take care of Tom. I guess Loverboy says that. Now we know his name. He's like, I'm gonna feed you to the head. So Loverboy goes up there, and now there's the freaking head.
The fucking head. Feed me.
That's screaming because basically he tells him how he was like the first one from the Eternals and they greeted him like eternal life. And obviously some shit's happened to him now. He's been around for a long time, but they like hit play. So this metal blasting and this thing is screaming, feed me. I literally wrote, what is even happening? And as this is happening, the family is going to the barn. Freaking Grace has to pee. She's like, has to pee. The parents are arguing, like, no, we gotta go. We don't want her peeing herself at the freaking big like ceremony. Back to the metal blasting and the freaking head screaming. Grace is in the bathroom peeing.
I get.
She gets out of the bathroom. She stabs Gil in the leg.
I get where Loverboy's character comes from now. I don't know why this just resonated in my head, but this whole like cannibal thing, like feeding into the head. I don't know why I'm making this connection, but do you remember Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Tell me Loverboy isn't Buffalo Bill on steroids.
Oh, he 100% looks like Buffalo Bill, but he also looks like this like 80s metal blasting, and clearly he looks like obviously like a jacked version of like he's got like the 80s metal like pants on. Like this dude literally looks like he could be a lead singer.
He looks like he might have come out of like what, Slumber Party Massacre?
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane. This guy. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that just like set off a firework in my head.
No, I already thought of that, and like I said, it definitely gave crazy metal singers jacked crazy vibes. But anyway, so now Gil gets stabbed in the friggin' leg, and he calls her an asshole. She runs up there. This dude is fighting Tom. We get an awesome wrestling match up there in the attic. He's trying to feed Tom into the freaking head, but Grace runs up there and she stabs the dude in the ass. And
I'm so glad you said that, dude, because I was gonna call you out on it if you didn't. I was gonna be like, where did she stab him?
No, I had to say it just because it was so freaking ridiculous. He's like screaming, and then like they push him into the head. This head starts eating his head. We have a head eating head, and they're both like looking like Grace is trying not to throw up because this is like ripping his scalp off.
Fucking like scalps him.
His actual head off. Yeah, like Tom literally clotheslines this dude to the death. The head is like laughing at this point. So like now like Tom goes downstairs and like drinks a beer and he like has to close his wound with like heat with a knife. They have the head like they like put it on a chain and like they're bringing this head. This head won't shut up. The head is still screaming obnoxiously. Meanwhile, at the barn, we see Gil back, and Gil is pissed. He's like, she stabbed me. It hurts really, really bad. And like, this ritual needs to happen. The cult is friggin' pissed. He's like, I've never seen anything. This is so stupid what's going on. And like, even like the leader's like, fucking Gil. And we got the parents arguing over parenting. Dude, like
Barb is pissed. She's like, I even killed my husband for this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we hear how she killed her husband for Gil. Gil promised her eternal life. They're arguing over like parenting skills. Tom and Grace now head to the shed, and when they open into the shed, they're still carrying the friggin' head on a jam chain, and we see the dead pizza guy, and Tom's wicked sad. He's like, "Oh man, that dude was a fan," and he gets an axe. And of course, who comes back? Burnt face dude comes back. This guy's already been through so much. Holy shit! He comes in there, and what do? They chop his fingers off. He gets all
He challenges him. He's like, "Go ahead, grab it, do
grab
it."
And he tries to, and they chop his fingers off. And once away, this dude gets his fingers chopped off, and I mean, he's just standing there. His arm is bleeding. He runs away, and the head is still screaming, "Feed me!" So Grace like grabs like a finger, and she feeds the freaking head the finger, and it's so funny. Like Tom literally is like so serious again. It's like, "Don't feed the head."
I literally in my notes, I was like, "They're fucking feeding this head." I'm like, how did they not toss in with all the great lines in this movie? How did he not go, "Stop giving it finger sandwiches"?
So good. And the parents now they're arguing, they're running back, and they're talking about like she's like, "We should have known, like this just happens, like the risk of joining a cult." They're literally arguing over the risk of joining a cult.
He's
Anyways,
eating the cheesy pizza.
yeah,
The
like
fucking, she's like, "How
dude,
can you eat at a time like this? There's blood everywhere." And he's just like, I'm hungry."
friggin' love this movie. Back to the barn now. They go back to the barn, and then we see Tom and Grace. They go get Phoebe, and they're like basically like, "Oh, give us Phoebe, or we're gonna kill the head. We need to talk to the leader." And they have a face-off with the leader. And the leader's like, "Well, you know what? I mean, I like the head, but like I
Yeah.
don't necessarily need the head.
But I
And
need Phoebe.
but I need Phoebe."
I
He
need
basically
her.
explains her like, "I need Phoebe. Like there needs to be a sacrifice, or there is just gonna be like tons of death. So like this needs to happen." And he basically like you think he like kills the head right there, and he basically sicks this dude on Tom. This guy looks like fucking Bane. This guy is so freaking jacked.
You want to know his name?
What's his name?
Meat.
That's
His name is just Meat. Capital
that.
MEAT. Meat.
All right, so it is metal time with me. This dude is so jacked. We got metal blasting once again, and we have a full backyard wrestling match. We have a head yelling "Feed me" in the background. We get them. I mean, they fight for like 4 minutes straight. There is just metal blasting, body slams, every single thing you can imagine. And Tom starts getting his ass kicked, like he's like the guy's like squeezing his head. Grace goes and grabs the head, which is still alive, and puts it on the dude. And this dude is like, it's like eating his neck. So thank God, Grace, you're the best. This guy like falls over and everything. You think he's done.
Dude,
Tom,
this whole fight scene, I love how much they work in like actual wrestling moves. I'm pretty sure, like we've seen suplexes, I've seen
yeah,
clotheslines, I've seen the
yeah.
people's elbow. I'm pretty sure at one point there was a DDT in this wrestling match and a low blow.
That's why the best thing there is a low blow. It is, dude, so friggin' awesome. Like I said, there's actual real wrestling moves going on. He gives the keys to Grace, and he's like, "Hey, wait 10 minutes, and just after that, just drive away. Like I'm going to the barn. Just go start the car and wait 10 minutes for me to see what happens." He runs into the barn. He punches Gil right in the friggin' face. Phoebe's all tied up and basically like, "Oh, the Eternals will kill us. Like they're knocking on the door. We must finish this. We must finish this." And as all this has happened, the friggin' gate opens. And we got a curveball here because Tom throws the friggin' leader into the friggin' portal. It's all
Like
over,
half a
right?
second, did you think he was going to throw the leader in? Because when he was like, "We need a young girl sacrifice or
Yeah.
this shit's going to happen," like it was starting to really become real. For like a split second, the way they were all looking, I was like, they're actually going to sacrifice Phoebe. Like they're going to let her do this.
I actually did get scared because like Sean just said, like it actually starts getting real. He's starting explaining, like, "No, we actually literally have to do this, or it's going to be bad for everyone." So he throws that leader through, and then all of a sudden everything like they think it's okay, but the gates open again, and we see the Eternals are pissed, and now this the harbinger of doom leader, he walks back out through the freaking gate. And holy shit, this is going bad now. And we see like Tom starts fighting him. Tom gets his ass kicked for a little bit, and he basically is saying like the sacred contract is broken, but he grabs Gil, and they fucking throw Gil through the gate.
Bye-bye, Gil.
Yeah, bye Gil. Like
He's such
throw
a
him
bitch.
through there. And such a bitch. That guy sucks so bad. And as like they're fighting again, all of a sudden We get a crash through the friggin' barn. Grace drives the car, crashes into the barn, and she knocks the friggin' leader through the portal. The doors actually close. Thank God. And she just basically is like, it was 10 minutes. Like, let's go. But who's still alive? I guess Sean told me his name is
Ding, ding, ding.
Meat.
Round 2.
So we got another full wrestling match again. Bane Meat is alive. He attacks Tom. And he is stepping on him. More wrestling moves. It is not good at all. But luckily in the barn, there's like this giant friggin' hook. Phoebe grabs the friggin' hook, hooks it underneath this dude's neck. This dude is so jacked. He is still like fighting. And this guy's got he's hooked like a friggin' fish. So they throw it on a chain. So they're like all pull it. So they're pulling the friggin'
Dude, it takes
chain.
all 3 of them to pull it
into the air. And they finally keep pulling and keep pulling and keep pulling until he friggin' rips it right off, like until his friggin' head rips right off.
Fucking
Let's go.
blood everywhere.
Absolute chaos. Oh yeah, so this dude's head literally rips off. Thank God. So much chaos. Let's friggin' go. And like the friggin' mom's like, way to go! Like we did it,
guys, we did it!
She's
Yeah!
like, high five him. Phoebe just punches her right out. Thank God.
And
now we see them all. Like, well, yeah, we see them all in the car. They all getting in the car. They got the mom in the friggin' back. And Phoebe's like, I still got to get to my exam today. This is like a big day. And we see them, they just pull out, they drive away. And as they drive away, we still look back and we see the friggin' face burnt dude is like still alive.
Burnt face Bernie walking with the dead head.
Walking with the dead head. Movie over. Let's friggin' go. What do you?
The deadhead's still going. Feed me. Feed me.
Still screaming. Feed me.
Oh. All right, dude. So fuck, man. This was a movie, dude. I do have the first 15 or 20 minutes of this movie though. Absolutely killed me. It really showed like how small the budget was. I felt in those first 15 to 20 minutes. And we also could have maybe shaved off 10 minutes of like storytelling, but holy shit, bro. Once this fun started, oh boy, did it fucking start. Let me tell you, the practical effects, like they weren't the best in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but this is definitely a good showing and all positive signs of the absolute massive potential and the skills of every member that worked in that department of this fucking movie. Again, dude, like the dialogue, it wasn't always the easiest to digest, but these one-liners and these puns, holy shit, dude, this dark humor was fucking spot on. I can't, I don't know what else to say about this movie other than like, it felt like it wasn't supposed to be good, but it was fucking good. It was so good. My only real complaint in this entire like movie, sometimes we do this where I say I want to see something different. I just wished that they swapped Meat and Loverboy. I feel like there was such a buildup and great momentum leading into Loverboy finally squaring up with Tom that I think this should have been the final boss battle instead of Tom facing off with Meat. Don't get me wrong, dude. Both these battles were intense. They were fucking great. I just wish they swapped time slots for when they happened in this movie. I would have loved to have seen Loverboy get his head ripped off in the barn. Like I wish Loverboy was the final battle, but just swap those two. You don't even have to adjust the storyline. You don't have to put Meat in the attic, nothing like that. Just swap them real quick. I want Loverboy at the end. I don't want Meat. The first third of this movie, bro, I was fucking out. I was not feeling it. I'm talking like 2.5 out of 10.
Yep.
But the turning point in this movie for me, once the pizza boy shows up and flexes his muscles and fanboys out over Tom, bro, I'm fully invested. One might say the extra cheese pizza could never have enough cheese on it, and this movie delivers with the cheese factor. I'm giving this a rock solid 7.2 on a 0 to 80s cheese fest scale. I thought Justin had finally picked a stinker, and I strongly felt this way, like I said, for like the first 15 minutes, but I was fucking aggressively proven wrong once the pizza showed up.
Hell yeah. I friggin' love the first 15 minutes. I love seeing the wrestling match right away. I love seeing the kill. I already just could feel it was building for something. I literally just wrote yes on everything. This was fun as fuck for me from start to finish. Horror, action, comedy. Dude, Sean Roberts was so amazing in this movie. I can't even, this movie, it was like Evil Dead type over the top of gore too when the gore happened. But I don't know, man. Sean Roberts, I just called him Sean. Sean Roberts is so awesome. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. This is one of the most fun movies I feel like I've even covered on the pod. We've covered a ton, but
Yeah.
I loved this movie so much. I can't even put into words how much I loved this movie. It was just so freaking entertaining, and I can't get enough of the one-liners. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, 9 out of 10 on just like the fun factor, just because obviously this is a horror action comedy. It was ridiculous. Love it. Love it.
Absolutely ridiculous. I do have a couple of fun facts,
What do you
a
got?
couple of which I had to like kind of make up my own because I really couldn't find too much on this movie.
Okay.
Did you know Dean Snyder of Twisted Sister actually plays the role of the Deadhead?
Yes, that was one of my fun facts as well, that this is D.
Love
Snyder
it.
screaming. Yep.
This film actually won 2 awards at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival. It won Best Kill and Best Supporting Actor, which went to Maya Misseljevic.
Yeah,
I think
good
that's
luck.
how you say her last name. She played Grace. So I think she did great, especially as a child actor, because we've covered numerous movies where a child actor either makes or breaks the role.
Dude,
And that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid because it's so either they smash it out of the park or like you're just like, get another kid in here, please. But she fucking crushed it.
Dude, her chemistry with friggin' Sean Roberts, like her Grace and Tom's chemistry was amazing. Like they were so good.
Speaking of Sean Roberts, the only gripe I have with him in this movie is that he spells his name Shawn, and the correct way to spell it a
Shit.
fellow Sean is Sean. So if you ever want to square up, I will
Oof.
fully back down because you can probably pop my head with those fucking biceps.
I was just gonna say I don't know if we went to try to see if we can get Sean Roberts on a podcast, interview him, see if
Bro,
Sean versus Sean.
you want to see someone fanboy the fuck out? Bro, get Sean Roberts on this podcast because as obsessed with the Resident Evil franchise that I am between the video games, the fucking graphic novels, the movies, everything, bro. Sean Roberts plays Wesker in the Resident Evil franchise.
Dude, do you know he was in Land of the Dead too?
Yes, he's in a ton of zombie movies as well. He is low-key everywhere.
Do you know he was in the first X-Men? He played Rogue's boyfriend. He was like a very, very small part.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. This is also a 5.9 on IMDb, which I think is a little bit low for what this movie actually delivered.
It's a 9. I told you it's a 9.
Yeah, bro. The head constantly screaming, "Feed me," could be a reference to the Little Shop of Horrors, where the plant is constantly going, "Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me."
This I actually do heavily agree with. Usually I'm more on the IMDb side than Rotten Tomatoes. This is an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. If you want to delve into what the popcorn meter is or like the audience reaction, bro, it's a 97%.
Yes, because look at me right now. If you guys like fun, watch this movie. If you don't like fun, watch something else. If you love fun in life and just want to be entertained, this is the greatest movie ever in the history of the world. Sorry, that may be strong, but it's just fucking watch this movie. It's so good.
Like I said, dude, the first third of this movie, I was a little checked out. So if you can get past the first 10, 12 minutes, right up until the Pizza Boy scene, bro, the last 2/3 of this movie fucking slap. Absolutely crush it. Knock it out of the park.
So good.
All right. That about wraps it up unless Justin
Hold on.
wants to bring something to the table.
Yeah, let's go. Fun facts. All right. So do you know this guy's name is Tom O'Bannon? You know how he got his name? So O'Bannon is named for Dan O'Bannon, who wrote and directed Return of the Living Dead. That dude wrote the screenplay for Alien, like horror legend. And
Holy shit.
So the guy who wrote the movie, he wanted to shout out to that because he loved 80s horror. James Robert was the writer. Daniel Torres was the director. But yeah, so he wrote that. And the guy that kept getting hurt, he's actually I don't know his name in the movie, but the guy who got his face burnt and all that stuff. Yeah. Is played by Jesse Buck, who's actually a Circus Olay traveling clown. And the writer wrote that, like he's literally like on tour with that. The writer wrote that part almost like a Wile E. Coyote kind of like shout out, like how the coyote would always get hurt and just like keep coming back and everything. So that's kind of what was that. And Sean Roberts basically said as soon as he got the script, he was so excited because he was inspired by like Arnold, Bruce Willis. He's obsessed with like action movies. And he actually trained with a real wrestler in Canada for this movie because he's a Canadian actor. But he said when he read the script and he saw all those one-liners, he signed up right away. He was like, "Oh my God, I get to say all this? Like, yes, like where do I sign? Like,
Sign me
this
up."
movie right away." He said he's obviously like Sean said, this dude's been everywhere. But he said of like so many different movies, he had so much fun with this one just because of all the insane one-liners he got to write. I got to say. So yeah, that's what I got.
Bro, and that speaks volumes too to not every actor is looking for a cash grab. Not every actor has to be in this
Right.
major motion picture because coming from a guy who is incredibly crucial to the Paul W.S. Anderson series of Resident Evil, that franchise, I think is $1 billion franchise, if I'm not mistaken. Like the amount of money they've made off those movies. He, like I said, he plays one of the most iconic roles in Wesker that has ever come out of that video game franchise. And for him to take a step back and do like a low budget B movie like this, bro, just speaks volumes to like, hey, I love this shit. I enjoy what I do. I have fun. I seen fun. I took it and I had fun. Now come have fun with me while you watch this movie.
Yeah, dude, I looked up a few interviews with this guy and stuff and looked him up. Man, this dude seems awesome. Like he literally seems like such a cool guy. Like shout out Sean, like badass.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay too. God.
All right, dude. I'm Hacky. This dude right here.
Just Justin had the best day ever.
Hey, we were there for blood. Now you should be too. So go watch it.
Let's go.